prominent
male-dominated sport and audience.
There we go. You have the English words. I don't. I'm from Norway, so I'm struggling.
Silly Europeans.
Yes, indeed. So we are on Circuit Breaker, a very interesting map, and in the bottom left corner from Team Axiom, we have CranK.
And at the top left, in the red Zerg, we have Axiom Impact.
I'm very, very pumped for this match because they both played quite a bit of Starbow. Impact making it to the finals in the Axiom in-house Starbow tournament, which Innovation won. CranK casting that tournament and has shown incredible skill in Starbow. He's one of the first pro gamers to try Starbow of the pro gamers who have tried it. And he did ladder a little bit once he got that working, and he is on, I think it's 26-3 or something like that. An incredible, and one of those wins are versus RSVP, so he hasn't been meeting bad people, let's just put it that way.
Oh man, I know Impact hasn't played as much Starbow as CranK. CranK has played quite a bit of Starbow.
He has, so I would say Impact is the underdog in this match. CranK, one of the I think CranK is actually one of the favorites to win this whole tournament. We don't really know how well he is compared to Innovation because he didn't play in that in-house tournament that they had. He was casting it instead. On Circuit Breaker, the starting positions are very different in relation to rush distances. The start positions they have now is actually the distance where they are closest to each other. So this will be very difficult for Zerg, as the rush distance area is very close for protoss to put on pressure. Zerg might just want to try and be aggressive in this position.
And we do have the Forge first into a Nexus, fast expand, while Impact is just struggling to get his... Okay, there's the drone micro to kill that probe. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Finally getting the
So
hatch
annoying.
down. It's incredibly
Because drones in Brood War had like one range. They had a range attack and they could do like a moving shot. This is so much easier to deal with that.
That's true. We see CranK though, interestingly, actually going for Forged Expand because Gateway Expand has been more and more popular in Starbow, and seeing the rush distance on this map, a few early Zealots can actually do a lot of damage, but he's going for the safer, more standard Forged Expand, so that's interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. At first, the meta was just really gateway-oriented at first, and then, you know, just it developed kind of like Brood War did, when it used to be like one base Protoss all the time, until they figured out, okay, how safe can I be and still like put on aggression against Zerg? And it's so important to put on some sort of aggression against Zerg as a Protoss player.
Yes, Protoss needs to be he's the aggressor by default. If you play Protoss and you sit on 2 bases and do nothing versus Zerg, he's going to take about 7 or 8 bases and just kill you. So,
well, yeah, and it's weird
something.
because I mean you have to be both safe and aggress. So you'll do things like with Corsairs, DTs, Reaver drops, or just really fast timing attacks with Zealots.
December's come. We have a Hydra incoming already.
Not surprised. It's gonna be 2-base Hydra. Oh man, that's a fast Hydra den. He's gonna... oh...
You see, I was kind of worried about the group play stages taking a long time, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, CranK might see this. No, it's gonna get denied by that queen. Very annoying.
Nice moving that queen over there. You know, CranK hasn't seen a 3rd base. He should suspect something like this is coming. The 2-base Hydra pressure will kill any Protoss who doesn't know that it's coming and is not prepared for it. Unless you are very, very good. And CranK is very, very good. And he also hasn't seen the 3rd base, and he should be getting some more cannons soon as a response to that. No lair on the way. He's getting range before speed on these Hydras, which means that it's going to be a little bit of a delay. No,
well, what you do is if you're busting a wall, you get range first because it doesn't matter. You don't need a micro against Zealots because you have enough Hydras to just kill them. So you get range so that you can actually chip away the wall so much easier with those Hydras. And then your critical mass is also better.
Crank's probe did see those early Hydras, and he's throwing down a ton of cannons now. He wants to tech towards... Oh, I was gonna say Templar to get a DT, but he has an Overseer with this. His Impact is doing... I'm almost calling this a cheese, but it's a very effective cheese, and it's something that...
Cheese. It's
something
just pressure.
that Protoss players should, you know, be prepared for. He's trying to go in and snipe the cannons. Sniping cannons, not that difficult in Starbow, and the Caldarian Citadel is not up yet, so he cannot chrono boost the cannons. Now he does, but it's too late. Ooh, chrono boosting cannons preemptively.
Yeah, and now you see why that range on the Hydras is just so damn effective.
Why does he keep chrono boosting cannons when they are out of range of Hydralisks? Chrono boosting cannons make them shoot faster, but it doesn't make them shoot that long.
Well, they could come in at any second and just snipe cannons one after another, and then at that point, CranK is just dead.
It's true. He just needs to keep the Hydras away for as long as possible until he can get Zealot speed and enough Zealots out to actually put these Hydra forces
so
back.
Impact is transitioning to Lair Tech, so I might expect him to be doing something like straight into Lurkers.
Trying to go for that contained play, perhaps.
He's not taking a third. He's finally taking a third, so there's this transition. So this Hydra pressure took down a Forge, took down a gate, forced a lot of cannons out, forced CranK to kind of sit back in his base.
It's interesting how much chrono boost it forced out. This will actually slow down CranK's upgrades and technology. And it's funny how the curse is that every time you say he's not taking a base, it always happens. So yeah, but
yep, Lurker Den is coming out. But at the same time, we do have Twilight, the Templar Archives out of CranK that will help him bust out against Hydra Lurker.
Yes, he can't see the Lurkers, but he can storm them, and he can have a good idea where they are from the attack animation. And here comes the Zealots, and he's just chasing the Hydras away. He sees that, you know what, I got enough Zealots to do this now.
Yeah, but the Hydras will retreat. There's no free hits in this game. Charge will just give you free hits while they're retreating. Quite a bit harder to do that.
Well, and they are faster, so they could get some free hits that way.
Critical mass of Hydra comes back, swinging the pendulum back the other way towards CranK.
So yeah, we're gonna have this little dance back and forth now. As long as there's only Hydras and Zealots, whoever has the most units is the one who wants to be aggressive. And you want to have the dance of the Hydralisks to avoid the blades of the Zealots. More gateways incoming. CranK trying to macro as to the best of his abilities. Now we have High Templars. Storm is on the way. As soon as he has high energy High Templars with Storm, he can push.
If you notice also, Brood War upgrades and Starbow upgrades, they take a long time. They are significant investments. So keep that in mind.
Okay. I will, and we have Impact morphing Lurkers on the high ground here, and he will be trying to go for that contain play. I think it's not a lot of Lurkers. He's getting himself supply blocked, and that's the only reason not. He's 4 Overlords incoming, so hopefully he can get those Overlords up, and he has a lot of gas to make at least 6 more Lurkers.
The Lurkers were a little bit hidden out of the way. Now they're coming in, and CranK just isn't prepared for it. He does have the Rebel finally coming down.
He's not going to lose to this. He's not going to lose to this because he has so many cannons. He has so many High Templars.
But it's keeping him
but he cannot get out of his base either.
Third hatch goes down. Overseer's going to see all the tech out of CranK.
Archon finally killing that Overseer. I don't know why he made an Archon, to be honest, because that is too wasted.
Mutus?
I mean
just
High
in
Templars.
Case, Mutus.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Corsairs. We do have the Observer Den coming out, so as soon as he's got his Observer out, he's going to be ready to push. The Warp Prism's going to come in, and this is going to let him do some Storm dropping. Alright, lots of Lurkers on field. This is heavy emphasis on the Lurkers.
Ooh. Impact trying to poke a little bit, but Storm denies that. He baits out a Storm though, which is nice, but it's going to take a while for these Hydras to heal up again. I heard the sound of a Warp Prism. It's so far to the left of the screen that I almost can't see it, but we have 2 High Templars and 2 Zealots incoming. There are Overlords to spot this. Will he pull out the workers in time? That is the question.
Let's see.
And here comes at least an Enraged Queen and a couple of Hydralisks. That's not enough to take down this Warp Prism. And here comes the Storm on the workers.
Oh!
And workers are not being pulled out.
It's hard to say. Oh man, I don't know who. A lot of drones lost at the same time. Lost that Warp Prism immediately. Lost those 2 Templars as well.
Ooh, Dragoon's trying to be a little bit bold here, but Dragoons are a little bit stupid as well. So
well, he just got his range. The range is about to finish, so now he'll be able to kind of poke away at those Lurkers. and just clear them out one by one. He's got to be careful against the Hydras, because those could come up really quickly and pop those goons.
Well, I like how he storms one the lurker, and as it is unburrowing to get out of the storm, he snipes it with a dragoon. Ooh, he got the observer. That means that Crank can't do anything else. Nice little snipe from Impact there, and Impact trying to take the rest of the map in the meantime, but now the new observer is incoming, and Crank is going to push this small contain away. Ooh,
breaking
but
out
the
of there.
Scourges are coming. No, the Scourges are not paying attention. Or
Nope, and those could have gotten another observer, and that would have been really annoying from Crank's perspective.
Oh, it's so much fun to do that as a Zerg player. It's the best thing in the world.
I hate you.
Oh, another Scourge trying to get the observer, but no, he needs to protect this observer for his dear life. There are still more lurkers and a whole lot of overlords for Impact. Wow. Sorry, I just kind of...
Mutas incoming! They're at the bottom left, there's no Archons! They're denying the natural...
There was an Archon, but that is that's in the main army, so the Mutalisks will be 9-mining for a while. In the meantime, Crank is attacking the main force of Impact, but Impact is driving him back. So right now, Crank just has to sit back and try and defend versus the Mutalisks.
Oh, man.
Another attack from Crank, though. He wants
forward
to push across these bridges. It's going to be very difficult with that nice concave of Hydralisks and Lurkers.
No storms left.
And only
Dragoons
do not do well without Zealot and Storm support.
And this is the danger. If you use too many of your storms on trying to kill those lurkers instead of just letting your goons do it eventually, then you risk losing to this sort of fight, where there's just too many Hydras left.
Ooh, and there's one lurker very smartly placed there that's killed a lot of workers who are trying to go and take third bases for Crank. He's finally killing it off now, but this has been very annoying, and Impact making a lot of smart decisions in this game, I feel, and actually showing Crank that, you know what, I can play Starbow too.
Yeah, man, he played Brood War as a professional, so that experience sticks with you.
Yeah, and yeah, you can see that happening, and he also, like I said earlier, made it really well in the in-house tournament for Axiom, and his experience is showing for. I would say he's way ahead in this game now. 2 bases up. Here comes the big push with Hydra Lurker. There's very little left for Crank, and this might just be it. December's come.
Yeah, no storms left. He's building up energy for Storm right now. That's his last hope. Is just if he had the most amazing storms
again.
Oh, and those were not the storms that he would need to take this back from the brink of destruction. There's just too much economy. Well played by Impact.